Hi everyone, so I have my empties today for you as of October 2015. I feel like I did one of these fairly recently, but I had enough things accumulated that I decided to just record a video now as opposed to getting too many things and then it taking forever. So I am going to get straight into it. This one's not really an empty per se, but it's busted and I had to retire it finally. And that was my Makeup Forever bag, which is what I used in my purse for my makeup bag for many years. I got this, the zipper was kind of glued to the plastic. I don't know if you could sew it back together. At this stage of my life, it's just not happening. So I might set this to the side for some rainy day project where I try to sew it back together, but it's effectively out of here. Makes me sad. I got that through, it was, I don't know. I think I recall it being one of my first like major point reward type thing that I redeemed. And it was a Makeup Forever one that came with like a little thing of HD powder, a little eyeliner, a gloss that I really liked that I finished at that time. It was like a diamond, whatever. They don't make them anymore. Whatever. And that's when it had the little brush tip applicator, and I got so enamored by the brush tip applicator for a gloss. I still kind of like that and feel like it's somehow luxurious. So I have a bunch of sample packets here that I'd like to go over quickly. I'll do the Paula's Choice one because they're kind of small. So I have 3 of the Skin Recovery Daily Moisturizing Lotion SPF 30. This says it's from normal to very dry skin. And I actually just purchased this on beauty.com. I was looking to buy some lotion from drugstore.com that I could only really find there at a reasonable price. And I'm like, I just really want to use that $15 off $75 deal that they always have going on. But I didn't really want to buy any makeup, so I ended up buying the full size of this Skin Recovery SPF because I like the samples so much. And this is what I have been using, the Resist Cellular Defense SPF 25. This leaves your skin quite dewy, a little bit more shiny than I really prefer. So, while I like it and it seems to be a good amount of moisture, this I felt like just kind of absorbed a little bit more and left a little bit less of a shine. So I feel like any moisturizer SPF is going to leave your skin a little bit shiny, and it's just that one is the Cellular Defense one is just out of control shiny. And I just feel like that Skin Recovery one just felt better on my skin now that, well, being pregnant, it just gets drier. And also, since we're coming into winter and I live in Minnesota where it is very dry in the winter because it's very cold, I just want something that's a little bit more, feels more nourishing and comfortable, but less shiny. Paula's Choice Hydralight One-Step Face Cleanser. So one of my subscribers had mentioned using the Paula's Choice cleansers. I just kind of went blank there for a minute. And I realized that I had this sample around, and it's definitely leaves my skin a lot more squeaky clean. I mean, it is for more oily skin, and I do have an oilier T-zone, but right now, especially, like I said, it's drier. It does produce oil, but it's a lot less than it normally does. And yeah, this left it feeling quite dry and tight and whatnot. It seemed like a nice cleanser, and I'm interested in trying some of the more moisturizing cleansers once Paula's Choice has a sale and I can try some things out. Oh, I've got more Paula's Choice here. I didn't even notice. The Moisture Boost. This is the Daily Restoring Complex SPF 30. So I was using this before I got pregnant during the winter, maybe? I don't really remember. But I was using it just like on my drier parts of my face, like my cheeks. And I like this, but I prefer the Skin Recovery one, and the Skin Recovery one has, I think, a bit more kind of active ingredients as opposed to this one, which is more just moisture. So I may buy this again, but I'm not really sure. We'll see how I like the Skin Recovery one after I've been using it for a while. Stick with some skincare. CeraVe Eye Repair Cream. This was a sample that came with, I think, my Hydrating Cleanser, which I'm back to using again in the mornings. And I may switch that to be my evening cleanser and then find something else to wash my face with in the morning. Because that I feel like is kind of hard to rinse off in the sink. Anyway, Eye Repair Cream. So what I used this for was around my eyes, but also the areas on my face at night that are drier. So that dry patch on my forehead, under my lip, around my nose, cheeks, neck. So it worked okay. It felt kind of like a more of a balm type texture. It worked. I didn't notice any kind of issues when I switched to using this nightly as opposed to what I was using before, which was, I think, the Paula's Choice Moisture Boost, just the cream that doesn't have SPF. So I wouldn't buy this, but I was happy to use it, and it did seem to work okay for what I used it for. Body lotion. This is the Laura Mercier Ambre Vanilla Souffle Body Cream Deluxe Sample. There, for a good long time, like a year plus, when you placed an order with Laura Mercier online through the lauramercier.com, one of the deluxe samples was this. So I do have another one somewhere over by the bed, I think. It's an ounce, which is a good amount. It does moisturize quite well, but it's the scent. I love the scent on it. It's quite intoxicating is all I can ever think of when I use it. It's just, I was kind of put off by it at first, but I have come to love it. And I actually just used the 20% off Friends and Family. It's 20% off a $75 order online at lauramercier.com. It's their Friends and Family sale. I think it includes everything. I'm not sure if it does also include the holiday collections. A lot of times that will be excluded from that just Friends and Family sale. Their fragrance stuff goes out of stock really fast, and I have tried to buy the perfume of the Amber Vanilla through the Friends and Family before, and it was out of stock before I ever got the chance. So I got the email today. I went ahead and placed the order actually for that souffle, the big jar. I did not think I would ever spend that much money on a scented body care product, but it is so strong. It's really like buying a fragrance. And I did end up buying the perfume from maybe not the most reputable place, and I'm not sure what I got is 100% authentic, which I really am kind of kicking myself for doing just to try to get a deal on it. I did buy it from eBay from a seller which had super high ratings, but it doesn't really smell exactly the same. I feel like it's been diluted with alcohol or something, so I don't know if that's just what the perfume smells like or if I got something that wasn't really either very old or I don't know. Anyway, I much prefer the smell of the souffle, so that's why I went ahead and bought it, because if I put it on my arms, it's like wearing a fragrance. So really like it. Really like it. So just buy it from Laura Mercier. Anyway, yes. So even with the discount, it was $48, which is painful. But that's cheaper than the perfume full price. Anyway, now I'm starting to sweat. A sample packet of the Matrix Oil Wonders Indian Amla. Not so sure that I haven't talked. I feel like I've talked about this one before. Maybe I just talked about this one when I talked about finishing the other sample packet. So what I would do is I had a little like half ounce or something Josie Maran argan oil dropper that was from some, maybe it was a perk or something, reward from Sephora, whatever. I finished that oil a long, long time ago. And so for these two, I think I had 2 or 3 of these sample packets from Ulta for the Matrix Oil Wonders. And I would just empty those in there because, I mean, 5 mils. Oh, I think, you know what? I think that dropper is 5 milliliters exactly. So it was a really good fit. That's a ton of hair oil. So it takes me a long time to go through that because I only used like equivalent of like 3 drops. It's a lot thicker than an oil. This one, I didn't like the scent of this one as much as I like the other one. As far as I could tell, they work the same. They're primarily silicones, I believe. And then there is some of the specific oil to each kind, but I mean, it's pretty low on the ingredient list, so I don't think it really matters. So I actually do plan on buying this just because it smoothed my hair out much better than any other product I've tried, and I like the smell. So I'm gonna buy this when I have a coupon, but not that scent. It's the one that's blue, I think. I think I preferred that one. Yeah, I could use them today. My hair's, I don't know. I think it needs to be trimmed is part of the problem. Like the front just gets so like, just, it looks like this and I don't like it. Of course, I haven't done anything to it, but when I could use that oil, it would kind of smooth things out and smooth out some of the frizziness. My hair is naturally wavy, but when I, like the first day after I've washed it, it is kind of wavy, but after I sleep on it, it just gets flat really fast, but it's still frizzy. And then I need to brush it and then it gets frizzier, and yeah. Anyway, this was supposed to be a shorter video, right? Okay, so the rest I have are makeup. This was a deluxe sample, the bareMinerals BB 5-in-1 Advanced Performance Cream Eyeshadow. I think this was in Nude. I'm not really sure. I did use all of this. It worked okay for me. It wasn't like the greatest primer or anything, but I did appreciate that it has SPF in it, that I mentioned, SPF 15. One thing that I'm sure is quite off-putting to a lot of people is that it does have very small glitter in it, so it's kind of sparkly, which is unexpected. And I couldn't wear it alone. It would crease even if I put a primer underneath it. But if I use just that and shadows over the top, it seemed to work fine. And if I had some creasing, it would be at the very end of the day. So it doesn't work as well for me as a regular primer, but it does work good enough to use. So in that, the bareMinerals mystery bag or something like that, I think this is a full size. And this is in Blushing Apricot, so I will be using that, which is why it's in my little drawer at the vanity. Whew, deep breaths, deep breaths. 32 weeks and pregnant, and I'm not feeling so hot, and breathing's a little hard, and sweating and hot, and yeah, okay. Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara Deluxe Sample. This came out of that Sephora Lash Stash thing that I bought, where you get the voucher to get the full-size one free after you pick out which one you like the best. But it's only of the things that were in that little kit specifically. I wouldn't get this one. I felt like it was just too hard to keep it from going super clumpy on me. And since I have, you know, not great lashes, but pretty good lashes, they're fairly long. They're not super thick, but there's a decent amount of them. I don't really need tons and tons of volume. I I want some, but not so much. And I just felt like this was hard to control. So would not select that one as the one I want to get for my full size. I have another sample here. This was the Sephora's Lancome Teint Idole Ultra number 90 Ivoire N. I did buy the full size of this, and that's what I'm wearing on my face right this moment. I like it a lot. I can make this last with my current face situation, which is drier than normal. I can make this last like 14 hours on my nose, which is amazing. Oh, geez, don't I sound startled? It's startling. So I may be doing a video on that. I don't know how long that's gonna work for me. It may be that once I have the baby and I just noticed this lip pencil was not closed all the way. After I have the baby, my skin may turn around and get a lot oilier and it won't work as well. But right now I have this like amazing makeup sandwich that I can use that will keep makeup on all parts of my face, including my nose, which is amazing. Never have been able to keep anything on my nose longer than like 6 hours before. So using this Lancome foundation, so I put on my SPF and then I use a blotting sheet on the oily areas to take off any excess moisture after it's had, 5 minutes to sink in. Then I put on the Hourglass Veil primer, and then I put on the Lancome with a damp sponge. And then I take a loose setting powder. This is very specific. It doesn't seem to work any other way. I've done a lot of testing here. I've had it work with the Sonia Kashuk brightening powder and also the Laura Mercier loose setting powder. So far these both have worked in the same way. And I take the damp sponge and kind of load it up and put it on the T-zone. That is keeping my makeup stuck to my face all day. 14 hours. 14 hours. It's crazy. It's so crazy. I hope this lasts past having the baby. But I'm not really optimistic. All right. One fragrance empty. It's a sample. This is Clean White Woods. I remember smelling this before I was pregnant and thought, I have another sample of this just because I placed 2 Sephora orders and it seemed like a scent that I would like, so I ended up getting 2 samples of it. But I actually like it quite a lot. I don't know that I would buy it, that it was, interesting enough for me to buy. But what I do is with these types that don't have the spray bottle, I take when you get a sample from Sephora, a perfume sample, they give it to you in a little tiny atomizer. So I just fill that with the ones that come like this. And yeah, I used that up pretty fast because I was wearing it many days in a row because I did enjoy it. I don't know that there was anything super noteworthy about it. Not super, it's not like, it's a little bit clean, fresh, a little bit woodsy, whatever. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at like recognizing notes, but it was kind of warm. It felt appropriate, but not super like heavy, warm, whatever. I'm gonna stop trying to describe this. And, okay. Last one, I finished this a long time ago, except for the powder. And so I kept holding on to it because there was powder in here. Now I didn't finish all of the concealer, the Secret, what's it? Is it this? I think it's Secret Concealer, the dry one, the drier one. But I did just about finish the corrector, which I think is Secret Camouflage. I actually bought the full-size compact thing in the Laura Mercier Friends and Family. of that concealer because I feel like I need to try the drier concealer again. This is old. This is really old. So anyway, I finally just depotted that into just a kind of like a travel pot. So it doesn't have a sifter or anything like this. And did I mention this is called the Undercover pot, and the shade I got was UC1. So that's the lightest shade. The concealer was quite light. The corrector is lighter, which I appreciate because, you know, kind of a standard corrector is just too dark for me. So I can definitely benefit from those peachy shades, but not when they are so dark. Like I got the Giorgio Armani Master Corrector. Way too dark. I had to return that. It went way beyond correcting and just turning orange. So anyway, I did like this, but I feel that it's kind of a little bit of a waste with the powder. I don't know. I just didn't find the setup that useful, but I really do like this powder now that I've been using it in the makeup sandwich on my face. And yeah, I really do like this. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this powder in a reasonable amount of time because I've been using that instead of the Sonia Kashuk brightening powder because the Sonia Kashuk has a little bit of small, very small glitter in it, and so in the direct sunlight that can kind of make me look a little sweaty. So anyway, so I would not repurchase this specifically, but I did obviously purchase the little concealer set. So we'll see how that goes. And last is not an empty per se. These tubes are empty, but they were not finished. I just wanted to mention really quickly, I bought these when they were on sale at Sephora. I think they still are on sale for $8 half price because the OCC is now selling them in the lip gloss tube. So I bought them on sale and then just decanted them into empty lip gloss tubes. I will include the link to where I bought mine. I got 3 lip gloss tubes shipped for less than $5. So since I was getting the lip tars for half price and then only a couple dollars each, essentially, not even, for the tube, it was a lot cheaper than buying the RTW ready to wear OCC lip tars in that format. And you get more because the tubes have more than the lip gloss things, though for this type of lipstick you don't necessarily need that full size unless you're really wearing it quite regularly. The only downside is I think that these are kind of old, and as you can see, they're always separating. It's a lot easier, I think, to mix them back together because you can just kind of pump the wand in and out to kind of mix it around. But it is definitely something to note. But yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good deal. If you could buy those maybe during the sale, even better deal. So that's everything that I finished in the past month or so. Except for this which I finished a long time ago, as far as the concealer goes. Let me know if you have any questions or anything you finished recently that you'd like to share. It's always fun to hear these. And I think that's it. I feel like I'm losing my mind. So thank you so much for watching and subscribing. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.